I am going to start this broadcast in just a second. You are watching Finding Love, Finding Out Men's Secrets. This is a live stream about to begin. I am doing something a little bit different today, so just bear with me one moment. We will be starting very, very shortly. I'm checking on my phone to see that this broadcast is being displayed, which it apparently is not. That's interesting. I want to make sure also that there's no echo. So anyone listening in, if you can let me know how the sound quality is, that would be awesome. Let's check it on the browser. How about that? So while I'm doing this, let me get right into it. So I have a very interesting story, a Russian ghost story from last night. So basically, this is a Tinder story, and it's regarding a beautiful Russian that I spoke to last night for about half an hour with very, very bizarre results. The end of this whole encounter was absolutely bizarre. So basically, we matched last night on Tinder. I swiped her, she swiped me. Awesome, wonderful, 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 whatever. Um, so I messaged her and we started talking for a little bit. And the conversation was going pretty good. She was pretty direct about what she's looking for and all that kind of stuff. And shortly after that, like I like to do, I'm writing. We're getting very detailed. So I'm writing all these long messages, and I say we should probably get on the phone and talk on the phone instead of, just messaging back and forth. It's more efficient, right? I could say so much more, so much faster. So I say, hey, let's talk on the phone. I send her my number. And then she proceeds to talk with me a little bit more online. She doesn't really respond to the let's call thing. She kind of ignores it. So fine, whatever. So we talk a little bit more, and then I call her out on it. I say, hey, so I guess you're not comfortable talking on the phone yet. That's fine. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. So something like that. No pressure. I'm just communication is essential to any relationship, right? So from the very beginning, I want to set the tone in terms of, I asked her if she wanted to talk on the phone, right? She completely ignored my statement. Like, that's not, I'm making a big deal of it, but I mean, that behavior is not acceptable. I know those words sound very like, whoa, not acceptable. But the point is, in a good, healthy relationship, communication is strong, right? So good communication means if I say something, you respond, right? That's an essential, part of communication. If from the very get-go we establish where I say something and she just pretends like I didn't say it, that's not setting up a good premise, or lack of a better word to use. So I kind of want to nip it in the bud right away. Again, setting the tone of my expectations. That's the kind of relationship I'm looking for, the type of woman I'm looking for. She's going to say something. You don't want to talk right now? Fine. Say so, right? You're tired? Say so. Say something. Don't just ignore what I said, right? That doesn't work. If you say something to me, I'm going to respond to you. Ask me any question, I'm going to respond to you. I'm not going to ignore what you say, and I expect back what I give out. So fine. So I bring it up, and she's like, oh, well, I'm just feeling tired, whatever. And we continue chatting. She said, maybe we can talk tomorrow, because I'm just really tired. Fine, whatever, no big deal. She responded. We're good. So shortly after that, my phone rings, and I say, "Whoa, who was this?" Now, due to the last dating snafu, what do you want to call it, where I had something that got really hot really fast and just fizzled like that because of the woman being emotionally unavailable, and definitely hitting me with some red flags in terms of, she definitely went from a potential life partner to just something fun, but in even something fun, I still need honesty, reliability, and emotional availability and effort. Any kind of relationship, I'm going to need that. So I wasn't there, so that fizzled out. So I spent all that time in that, and because she seemed like she was a potential for long term, I kind of took myself off the market. And someone's calling me. I apologize. I don't normally take calls during a live stream, but just bear with me 1 second. Hello. Oh, not too bad. Let me call you right back, okay? All right, no problem. My uncle. Anyway, yeah. So because of that, I mean, I'll be honest. Things were going really good in the beginning, and she really got me going. So, you know, having that kind of fizzle out into nothing kind of leaves me in a very, very, shall we say, frustrated state. So I'm definitely aggressively looking to catch up. It's been a long while since I've been dating, so I want to get things going. It took me 6 months just to find that person. But that, again, that's a long story. Check out the videos. It's on my channel. Let's get back to this Russian. So yeah. So I'm aggressively on the market. So I don't know who this is calling. It could be someone else. So someone else I'm supposed to talk to. There was two other women I was supposed to talk to last night. So I didn't know if it was one of them. So I said, hello, who do I have the pleasure of speaking to, or something like that. She says her name. I heard a little bit of Russian accent, so I kind of knew, but I didn't want to assume. So she said her name. I was like, oh, I thought you were tired. And she's like, yeah, tired, but I figured I'd just give you a call. I wanted to hear your voice or something like that. I don't know, whatever. So great, we start talking. I get right into it. I greet her. I made a mistake. I said dobre utro, and then I said no, that's wrong. I said dobre noche, and she was shocked. She was like, how is it possible? How is it possible? How is it possible? How do you know? Yeah. So that was a little bit unexpected. I definitely don't look like the kind of person that would be speaking Russian. And I don't know Russian. I know a few Russian words, and I'm pretty good with accents and picking up foreign languages in terms of how to say things properly, as opposed to people that use their native accent or whatever for whatever language they speak. It was always funny in Spanish class to hear people using a North American accent and they're talking Spanish. It's so bizarre. But anyway, so yeah, she was blown away by that. I think I started off on the right foot with that. She liked that, and so I explained to her I like languages, blah blah blah. I like to travel, So we got the context of why I knew those words, and then the conversation started, and it was pretty good, really good conversation. We spoke for half an hour, and she was very open and direct. We talked about what type of relationship she's looking for, details, very specific details, like how often do you want to see the person that you'd be dating. And she specifically said every week, which is interesting. I guess in the beginning, I guess it depends on what you're talking about. Like maybe you're talking about just initial dating or whatever. But anyway, fine. So she wanted something regular, she said. And then somewhere a little bit before 10 minutes in, she mentions, did I tell you I have kids? So I was like, whoa, kids. Um, Kids, you know, if you're looking at a life partner situation, it's a little bit different. But even in that scenario, kids, that's weight, man. It's you know, with any relationship, it can be challenging. You're trying to get to know someone. Things aren't going to be perfect. There's going to be, things positive and negative, and it takes a lot of work. And then you add in that mix kids. How does that fit into things? And then there's also scheduling. Custody issues. Where I met one woman where there was a time window from like 4 to 6 where we could meet on a certain day or days. For someone like me, that's difficult. I like to spend a lot of time with the woman I'm dating, whether it's casual or otherwise. Um, so you get all kinds of bizarre things like that. There's also conflict of interest. I mean, kids always come first, so we're always going to play second fiddle. That's bad enough with a person who is without kids. Then with kids, it's different because it's not even about them. The kids are there. They need to be taken care of. They need to be priorities. So um, there's always going to be that battle between, fighting for time with the kids versus time with you. And if you already gotten to know someone and you have something really solid going, that's different. But when you're getting to know someone, you don't want all these kind of restrictions, because I'm spending all this time jumping through hoops and all this kind of stuff, and then in the end, it's like you're not the one. You know what I mean? So that's a lot to go through. So, if you find someone really, really special, then it's worth the effort. But unless they can really blow you away right away, I really would like to stay away from the kid situation. But she painted a good picture that they weren't really a problem. She was dating some guy before. She would go to his place and things like that. So whatever. We would obviously need to talk more about that and figure out how that works. But it sounded like that was not an issue. We got into details about specifics about you know how what she liked in terms of the interaction between her and the guy. I asked her some good questions. Do you like things like cuddling, physical intimacy? And she was like, yeah. And I went into details about things like, let's say we're lying in the same bed and we're not cuddling at that particular moment. My thing is, I like a lot of physical contact. So I'll find excuses to make contact. So whether it's my leg is touching your leg, or my hand on your thigh, or something like that, I generally like to have as much physical contact as possible. It's not something that I need, but it's something that I enjoy, and it's something that, knowing that the woman enjoys, I'm definitely going to be doing it as much as possible, because that's one of the big things for me is really giving the woman the best possible experience. So yeah, we talked about that kind of stuff. She talked about the last guy she dated and the problems that she had. She told me about how he talked a good game, but then he ended up being, specifically she mentioned, sexually boring. And he talks about doing one thing, and then when it comes to the real thing, it's like he's just plain vanilla. I asked her why she thought that was. She said that it was because she felt because he wasn't as attracted to her as he wanted to, because she's on the smaller side, which is actually something that I like. I told her this from the chat. I was like, wow, the more I got to know her in the chat, like the more sexy she seemed to me, because she was pretty short, 5'3" or something, and then she was like 98 pounds, which that's pretty lightweight. Um, if she was a little bit taller, I'd be concerned about that, because she is on the skinny side, but she is short. So I think 98. You guys comment below, let me know. 98 pounds, 5'3". How's that? I think for that height, that's a good weight. It's still on a smaller side, but it's not to the point where it's like real bony and anorexic looking. I don't want that. But what I do like is, in a sexual context, the idea of lifting her up and carrying her around. These are definitely things that I think about and I find appealing. And also, like I told her, I like the contrast between male and female. So anything that um, stresses that contrast. So whether it's the woman's curves, her femininity, her size, the fact being smaller. These are all things that I find attractive. Those are my personal preferences. Now, I don't need that. I can certainly date a woman 130 pounds, 180 pounds. I would date one woman 180 pounds. She's pretty tall. So she didn't look big at all. She looked, I was surprised when I saw her. She didn't look big at all. And I'm not one of those people who look at someone who's overweight and be like, oh, no, she's thick. No, no, no. I call it like it is. She looked good for her weight, and her height is what made it work. She was not skinny for sure, but she was medium, I guess I would say. Anyway, but in a perfect world, I would like someone much shorter and on the thinner side. And on the thinner side, it's not so much an attraction thing, because to be honest, a little meat on the bones is good. That could be actually very attractive, but I'm more thinking about options in the bedroom, because I like to get very creative, and I want to be able to explore just about everything. I would rather not be with a woman where I'm kind of limited in any way. You know what I mean? So that's the way I'm looking at it. That's purely from a sexual context. But anyway, so yeah. So conversation went great. She says many times, wow, that's perfect. That's exactly what I like. Wow, we're so on the same page. We're so in sync. Wow, this is great. Wonderful. The conversation is going great. I'm liking the conversation. She's liking the conversation. We like the same things romantically, sexually. We didn't get into sexual details like positions, nothing like that. But just, I think we went as far as just that she really likes sex. Sex is a big thing for her. As it is for me, and she also likes to keep it fresh in the bedroom, not plain vanilla, which is like okay. And then we're talking, things are going good, and then all of a sudden, click. 28-minute mark. What the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? Whatever, bad reception. Call dropped on my side, her side, whatever. Call her back, no answer. I wait a little while, nothing. I go on Tinder. I go to her profile. I say, phone died, question mark. Shortly after that, her profile disappeared. What in the hell? I think I called her number. I left a message saying, I don't know what happened. The call dropped, something like that, whatever. Here we are the next morning. Nothing. So I really don't know what the hell happened. I mean, everything was going perfectly, except she was a little bit far, not too far, 35 minutes away. But then with traffic, it could be more. I mean, I would more like someone to be closer. And a lot of has to do with what type of relationship as well. The type of relationship depends on, or dictates how much of an issue distance is, right? Depends on how deep. Deeper relationships, a little distance is okay. More fun type relationships, rather you be close. But anyway, so that was that. That was that. She looked great. Physically, I mean, I would have liked some more curves. She didn't really have all that many curves, but I could work with that. She was fit, and like I said, just the right size, attractive, and we're in sync romantically, and I got the impression sexually, at least as far as frequency and also motivation levels, or whatever you want to call it. But she ghosted me in the middle of a conversation. That was going great. We didn't have any kind of conflicts, no kind of like, whoa, what do you mean by that, or nothing. I wish I knew what we were talking about at the end of the conversation. Well, actually, I think it was about her boyfriend. So we'd gotten to the point where she's told me about her boyfriend and her previous boyfriend, and I was like, why do you think he didn't want to do a lot of creative things, like it was plain vanilla sex? And she said because he probably wanted somebody with more curves or something to that effect. And then she was talking about that she wants more than the plain vanilla sex. So I asked her, like, what did she mean by that? Like, does she have any like extreme, like things that would be regarded as extreme in terms of your sexual interests, or is it just a matter of creativity, variety? Like, what is it? What is it that you seek sexually that was missing from him? So we're at that point, and I don't know what I got from her. What response she said. I don't know how far it went. She said, I know there was no negative response to the question. It was like I was kind of explaining the question, and she kind of said something, and then I kind of explained some more, and then um, I don't think she ever told me anything. She never really answered that question at all. So somewhere in me asking the question or something was when the call dropped. So I don't know. That was bizarre, especially considering in context. 3 months ago, Tinder was awesome. Tinder was blowing OkCupid out of the water. I was matching with so many women so quickly. I was chatting with so many of them, because matching is one thing, chatting is another. I was getting so many of them on the phone pretty quickly. I felt empowered to pretty much date just about any of them that I wanted to. Not literally, but I wasn't concerned about being able to get dates, because they were chatting right away. They were phone numbers pretty quickly and phone conversations pretty quickly. And pretty much, if I wanted to meet them, I could, and I did. I would say, hey, you want to meet? And we would meet, so I'm like, this is awesome. So I can really, really um, get through a lot of women quickly. When I say get through, I mean, in order to find the right woman, I need a good quantity search to get to that quality, if you know what I mean. It's I'm looking for, regardless of whether it's a casual or more serious relationship, I'm looking for a very unique type of woman. I'm a very unique person, right? So to get to that unique woman, I need to go through a lot of regular women, and average women to get to those very unique ones. So the only way I'm gonna ever get to that is I need a good frequency of dates and meeting people. And OkCupid was taking too long. It's like, this is gonna take forever. But with Tinder, it was like, wow, I'm talking to her, I'm talking to her, I'm talking to her. I can go out with her, I can go with that one. I'm like, wow, this is great. Um, but lately, that hasn't been the case. I don't get many matches. Same pictures, by the way. I don't get many matches, not as much as before. Then if I get matches, they don't talk. So I definitely can't get them on the phones. I definitely can't date them. So, getting dates has become challenging now versus 3 months ago. I still haven't been able to figure it out. But point is, with that being said, the odds of you meeting someone and having a match is low. I mean, what are the odds? Such a small, you know, um, quantity of women that you actually even get to the point of chatting, and even smaller that you actually get to talk on the phone with. So the odds that the one you happen to talk to is going to be a match is very unlikely. What are the odds of that? So I finally get this woman. We match right away. We talk right away. Conversation goes great right away. We jump to phone pretty soon. Conversation goes great on the phone. I mean, great. She herself said perfect, perfect multiple times. I got no vibe of anything suspicious. She seemed very, very cool. And then poof, ghosted. Ghosted. Um, I'm not sure what happened there. Comment below and let me know what you think happened there. But I'm just like, whoa. Uh, yeah, I've been meeting some bizarre women, you know, and not to bash on women. People say women are crazy. Well, there are a lot of crazy women, but the thing is, we human beings are a crazy species to begin with. Like, we do a lot of bizarre things, male, female. There's a different level of crazy with you women, unfortunately. I guess it's biological, but it's a human thing, and the uniqueness of with women, I think there's a lot of emotional things going on. You run into things with baggage as well. Like the last one I dated, I definitely felt there was a lot of emotional baggage. The last relationship was not very healthy, and that led a woman that I got a sense for to be a really good woman. Didn't really get to experience that. I did a little bit in the beginning, but then she just totally destroyed it. So yeah, all over the place. Many women are, but such is reality, which is why I need a lot of frequency in terms of I need to meet a lot of women because I need to weed through all the bizarre and emotionally unavailable and the crazies and all that kind of stuff to get to someone who's emotionally healthy, who is stable, yeah. So anyway, that is my story. I'm sticking to it. You are watching Finding Love, Finding Out Men's Secrets, and this has been a live stream. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your search and your adventure in dating. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up the video, and definitely comment below. Tell me your crazy stories.